There is a call being prepared for you right now. And when I say prepared, I mean exactly that. This is not someone who is going to pick up their phone impulsively in the heat of a moment without having thought through what they want to say. What is coming has been considered, turned over, examined from multiple angles. The person on the other end of this call has been sitting with what they want to communicate for long enough that it has moved from something raw and unformed into something clear, something they are ready to put into words. And when those words find you, something in your life is going to shift. Stay with me, because this reading carries a specific energy that I want to walk you through completely. Let me begin by describing what landed when I opened this energy today, because the first impression always tells you something essential about the nature of what is being delivered. Surprise. That was the immediate quality, not vague surprise, not the general sense of something unexpected approaching. The specific, this is genuinely not what you were anticipating kind of surprise that belongs to things that arrive from directions you were not watching, that do not fit neatly into any of the scenarios you have been running in your mind about how certain situations in your life might resolve themselves. The call that is coming does not fit your current narrative, and that is precisely why it is going to shock you, because you have been operating with an understanding of where things stand with this person, with this situation, with this particular thread of your life that is incomplete, not wrong exactly, but missing a dimension that the call is going to supply. And when that missing dimension arrives, when the picture you have been working from suddenly has the piece that was absent added to it, everything you have been understanding about the situation is going to need to be revisited. Not because what you understood was false, because it was incomplete. And the complete picture is significantly more in your favor than the incomplete one has been. I want to speak to who is making this call, because their energy is coming through with a clarity that I want to honor with real specificity. This is someone who has been in a process, a private interior process that has not been visible from the outside, that has not produced much in the way of obvious external signals, that has been occurring in the quiet of their own experience, while the surface of your connection with them has perhaps appeared relatively static. Do not mistake the surface stillness for nothing happening. The most significant movements in a person's interior life are often the least visible from the outside. And what has been moving in this person quietly and persistently and without announcement has been moving toward a significant conclusion. That conclusion is now complete. And the call is how they are going to deliver it to you. Spirit is being specific about what has shifted in this person, and I want to receive this carefully. Something that was previously unclear to them has become clear, not through a single dramatic moment of revelation, but through the slow, patient, undeniable process of truth asserting itself over time. The specific thing that was unclear, whatever uncertainty or unresolved question or internal conflict was keeping them from full clarity, has resolved itself in the process of their own quiet reckoning. And what it has resolved into is something that has a direction, a clear, unambiguous, this is where I actually stand direction that they are now ready to communicate rather than continue to hold privately. I am feeling that the direction is toward you in a way that is more definitive, more committed, more genuinely certain than what has previously been available from this person. As though the process they have been through has burned away everything that was preventing full clarity and left something clean, something simple, something that does not require further deliberation because the deliberation is done. I want to speak to the shocking quality of this call specifically because that word is in the title and Spirit used it with intention, and I want to address what creates the shock. The shock is not going to come from something alarming or disturbing or difficult to receive. I want to say that clearly because the word shocking can sometimes carry uncomfortable connotations. The shock in this reading is the shock of something wonderful arriving unexpectedly, the shock of a piece of the picture you had not anticipated, the shock of someone's truth being more fully in your favor than you had allowed yourself to expect. There is something this person is going to say that you did not know they were thinking. Something about how they see you or what they have been realizing about the connection between you or what they now understand about what they want that you did not have access to before this call. Information that your current understanding of the situation did not include. And receiving it is going to require a moment, a pause, a breath, the specific brief suspension of ordinary processing that happens when something lands that does not fit the existing framework. And that requires the framework to be updated before you can fully integrate what you have just received. That moment is coming. And on the other side of it is a version of your situation that is clearer and more promising and more aligned with what you have been hoping for than where you currently are. Does this feel like it is connecting to something in your actual life, Virgo? Is there a situation that has felt unresolved or unclear? A person whose full truth you have not yet had access to? A connection whose direction has been uncertain in ways that have occupied your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. I want to know how this energy is landing for you right now. Let me speak to what the call actually contains, because Spirit is showing me the dimensions of what is being communicated, and I want to walk through each. The first dimension is information, something you did not know that you need to know. This could be about circumstances that have been affecting the dynamic between you and this person without your full awareness, about things that were happening on their end that explain or contextualize behavior that perhaps seemed confusing or inconsistent from where you were standing, about the full picture of a situation that you have only been seeing partial pieces of. This information is going to be clarifying. It is going to make things that did not fully make sense. It is going to fill gaps in your understanding that have perhaps been a source of quiet frustration or uncertainty. And the filling of those gaps is going to be, in its own way, a relief. Even if some of what you learn requires adjustment of your previous understanding, the second dimension is emotional. Something about how this person actually feels, their genuine interior experience of the connection between you, stated directly and without the management or hedging that has perhaps characterized previous conversations. What they feel is more significant, more invested, more specifically about you than you have perhaps had full access to before this call. And the third dimension is directional, something about where they want things to go, not vaguely or in the generic we should figure this out sense. Specifically, with a clear indication of what they are hoping this call opens between you and what they are willing to bring to the opening of it. Inhale with me, Virgo. I want to address something that I feel is important for you to sit with before this call arrives. There may be a part of you that has been managing your expectations about this situation, that has been applying careful, protective caution to how much you allow yourself to hope for in this particular direction. That has learned through experience to keep a certain distance between what you want and what you allow yourself to fully expect, because fully expecting something creates a vulnerability that not expecting it does not. I understand that protection. It has served you, and I am not asking you to abandon it entirely. What I am asking is for you to let it loosen slightly, to create enough space in your current framework for something that does not fit your existing expectations to actually land, rather than being filtered out by a system that has been calibrated to expect less than what is coming. What is coming is more than what you have been allowing yourself to expect. And receiving more requires being open to more, not naively, not without your discernment fully operational, but with enough genuine openness that the surprise is allowed to actually be a surprise rather than being immediately minimized into something that fits comfortably within your previous framework. Let me speak to something about the green energy in this reading, because the color in the title is significant and spirit is pointing to it with intention. Green in the context of this reading carries the energy of growth and of healing and of something genuinely new rather than simply a return to something old. The call that is coming is not going to bring you back to a previous state. It is going to bring you forward to something that has never fully existed before in this form. Growth, new, forward. These are the qualities of what is being initiated through this call. And they are distinctly different from the energy of simply repairing or restoring or returning. What is coming is building on what exists, yes, but what it is building toward is something that requires the current moment as its starting point, rather than any previous moment. You are not going back, Virgo. You are going somewhere genuinely new. And the call is the first step in that direction. I want to speak to what you will feel in the moments immediately after this call ends, because the receiving of it is significant, but what comes in the quiet after it, when the conversation is over and you are sitting with what just happened, is equally significant, and I want to prepare you for it. There will be a stillness, a sitting with quality, the specific contemplative stillness of someone who has just received something significant and who needs a moment of genuine quiet to integrate it, to let it move from the experience of having happened into the understanding of what it means in that stillness. Multiple things are going to be present simultaneously. Relief, perhaps, of something that has been uncertain, resolving into something clearer. Emotion, possibly, the kind that arrives when something you have been hoping for finally arrives in a form you can actually hold. And alongside these, something that I feel is the most important thing to watch for: possibility, a sense of genuine open this could actually happen possibility that may have felt constrained or conditional or simply uncertain before this call. A widening of what feels available to you in this particular area of your life. A new sense of the potential of something that the call has just expanded beyond its previous edges. Let that possibility be real. Let it be what it is, without immediately contracting it back down to something more manageable. The expansion is the point, and staying in the expansion rather than retreating back to the previous container is what allows what this call initiates to actually develop into what it has the potential to become. As I bring this reading toward its close, I want to leave you with the fullness of what Spirit assembled for today. A call is coming. It is carrying things you did not know were being carried. Information that fills gaps. Feelings that are more significant and more specifically directed toward you than you had full access to. A direction that is clear and genuine and prepared rather than impulsive or uncertain. And it is going to shock you in the specific, breathtaking, I genuinely did not see this coming way that only the most genuinely good surprises shock a person. Not with distress, with the disorienting, wonderful framework updating quality of something wonderful arriving from a direction you were not watching. Everything could change with this call, not as a dramatic overstatement, as an accurate description of what happens when a missing piece of a significant picture is finally supplied. When someone says the thing that needed to be said, when clarity replaces ambiguity in a situation that has been operating under the constraint of the unspoken for too long, be ready, Virgo. Not tensed, not braced, simply ready, present in your life, available to receive what is heading toward you without the filtering of a framework that was built for less than what is coming. It is on its way, and it is going to change things. If this reading resonated with you today, please share it with a Virgo who needs to feel this energy, and leave me a comment below. Tell me how this landed. Tell me what situation came to mind. Tell me what it feels like to sit with the knowing that a call carrying something significant is approaching your life. I read every single word you share. Every story matters to me deeply, and I carry your energy with genuine care long after this video ends. Until next time, Virgo, something is coming through the phone that did not fit your expectations, and it is going to expand what you thought was possible. Stay open. It is close.